Did you get the new ebook? It was just sent out to all subscribers. Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Welcome to Keep Shooting Monday number 31. That's right, I just sent out the new ebook, Top 10 Tips for Growing Your Photography Business, out to all subscribers. I am going to talk about it a little bit today and answer some questions about it. It took me a while to write this one. Kind of had it in mind. I had started it probably a year ago, something like that. And I just wanted to get it out the door, get it going. And so hopefully that'll keep the list growing and the people coming in the door. That's always a good thing. But we'll talk about that in a minute. A couple other little things. By the way, if you do have any photography questions, please post them into the comments on YouTube or send me a tweet over at twitter.com/Cazillo. We'll be checking those two sources today towards the end of the show for photography questions. A couple things I wanted to talk about today. A couple interesting, funny things. This was over on Petapixel, which was interesting. 10 quirky camera designs. I 100% remember this camera coming into the camera store back in the day. I also remember, was that one? Yeah, 2000. I remember that one coming in. And back when I worked in the camera store, this Cazillo was the very first one that ever came in. First digital camera we ever got in the store. And we played with it and shot all kinds of pictures with it. And it was very, very interesting, to say the least. Let me kill that audio over there. So first one was this old Cazillo, very interesting. Get by for $22, and I think I remember it being like $500, and that was super expensive. And I think the pictures were like 640 by 480, tiny little things, but it seemed to take pretty good pictures. I don't know. I'm sure compared to today's quality, 15 years later, it's probably nothing or more now. But still, it seemed to take pretty decent pictures, this tiny little Cazillo thing. That was the first one we got in the camera store way back when. Here's another one that's kind of nostalgic a little bit for me. Signs you were alive before digital photography. And I still have the majority of this equipment. Like, I still have my sheet film holders. This thing, if you guys don't know, is a film loader. You actually pop your roll of film inside of this, and this loads it onto the larger spool. Sorry, this is not that. This is a bulk film loader. This is the opposite of that. This takes the bulk film and takes it off of a larger amount of it and puts it inside of the smaller canister, is what this thing does. That's right. And I'm pretty sure I still have one of these around somewhere because I shot a lot of black and white back in the day. I know I still have one of these, which is a dark bag. Instead of going into a dark room, you would actually just use a bag, and it has those two zippers right there, and you put your stuff in there and you would zip it up, and then you stick your hands in here, and then you would change your film or do whatever you needed to do in the dark inside of that bag. Came in handy a bunch of times, and I used it a lot. This guy is for dodging so when the light would project down from the desktop, from all of a sudden I can't remember what it's called. Shoot, it doesn't matter. Somebody's got to tell me what it's called, what the thing is called. You put your film in it, and all of a sudden I forget anyway. You would use this to dodge certain areas and make it lighter, and so that was interesting. Still have one of these, and you guys should know what that is. These are a little bit before my time. I did not use cubes like this for those separate flash bulbs. All of my strobes are all with the actual strobe built in, and so no, I did not use these. I'm not that old. No idea what that is. Not sure what this is either. I don't understand what this has to do with old, quote unquote. This hasn't been, we still have big, huge lenses like this today. Not sure why they're showing this in this article. I did not have an f4, but I do remember knowing someone that had one of these huge backs. You would take bulk film, put it inside of this 250 shot back, put it on the Nikon F4, and then you could shoot 250 pictures in a row without changing film, and that was awesome. That was, you know, like getting a really huge media card back in the day. And so, yeah, that's what that thing was, a huge bulk film thing. Back, I guess is the word. Don't know what that is, never used it. I personally never had one of these cameras, but I did, though, remember people bringing in disc film in order to be printed. Disc film, by the time I graduated high school in '96, and working in the camera store, disc film had pretty much gone out. So we were taking, old people usually, would be bringing in their disc film, and then they said, well, I want prints from this, and we would send it out to the lab, and an outside lab, and they would print it for us. 110 film, however, it was still a C41 process. We were able to process that in-house, as I remember. I think so. So, yeah, 110 film. I think we might have had one of these as a kid, but I don't remember if we did or didn't. Vaguely maybe remember one or two of those around. But again, processed a lot of it when I was working in the camera store. Again, 110 film was just kind of starting to go out, and disc film was already gone. And I think I still might have a projector like this and a bunch of slides around. And I know I have a light table, and I know I have a couple of loops. And sometimes I do wish that I still had some of these gloves. They were actually kind of nice. Printing in the here, I wish I could have gloves when I'm cutting. I'm sure I could go out and buy some, but I just wash my hands thoroughly, and it does the trick. But anyway, going down memory lane. So this is another interesting article on Petapixel, which goes over 10 reasons why people steal photos from the web. And this is all the more reason to put a watermark on your photos somehow. Nice one. But there's still excuses, and there's still people that are going to do it no matter what we say, no matter what articles get put out there. But I thought it was an interesting read. No copyright logo. Photos on the internet means it's free. Found it on Google Images, that means it's free. It's on Facebook, and everything Facebook is public domain. No. By the way, every once in a while you'll see those posts that people say, well, stop posting your photos to Facebook because Facebook thinks that they own it. And here's proof right here that's showing that if you really would have read the terms of service of Facebook, that you own all the content information on Facebook. Okay, and so yeah, those posts are always BS, and I never repost them. They're always crap. I want to make money off this photo, or I won't make money off of it. So read through this. Interesting little read. Some of them are kind of funny. A lot of them are lame. And they still all suck. Because people are still going to do it no matter what we do. But at least you can see your images. I don't know. Watermarks are good and bad. You know, you can still crop some of them out. If they're in the middle, they ruin the photo. It's really nothing we can really do except for take your photos. And if you're really worried about them, make sure you send them to the Copyright Office so that they're registered. And that's the only real way to protect yourself. So at least be able to sue someone if you did want to recover any money or get it taken down. That's the best way to do it. So some other things that are out there that I wanted to talk about today. This is really, really cool for those people that are on the fence or are relatively new and they're not sure if they like Nikon or Canon or whatever brand. Sigma will actually take your lens and they will switch the lens mount from a Nikon mount over to a Canon mount. Oh, I think that was the only two. Sorry, Sigma, Sony, Pentax, Nikon, or Canon. And you have to have one of their Sport, Contemporary, or Art DSLR lenses, which are the newer ones. Still really nice. If you're on the fence, you don't know which way you want to go, you have a little bit newer lenses, or maybe, I don't know if you'd want any other reason why you would want to switch, but maybe you just don't like it and you're on the fence and you're relatively new to it. If you buy Sigma lenses, Sigma glass, or maybe you buy one used, and you know, it says it's for Canon, but you have a Nikon or vice versa. You can send it in to Sigma, and they will switch the mount. So that is pretty cool. You know, I don't remember seeing what the cost was. There it is. Cost of conversion will range from $80 to $250 plus shipping. That's not too bad. So, you know, for this service, realistically, they're probably taking it apart, probably doing a pretty good check on it at the same time, probably get it cleaned, you know, all that stuff all kind of at once. So, you know, can't complain there. So, yeah, good article, good service, interesting. Firmware updates, the 1D Mark III, 1DS Mark III, and 1D Mark IV. Interesting. Power consumption, additional power consumption when the lens is detached. Interesting. Okay. So let's talk about the ebook. There really wasn't a lot of news this week, so I just kind of pulled them and thought they were interesting. A lot of tweets are coming in here. Let me see what they are here. Oh, number 8 was a focusing screen. Is it? That's not a focusing screen. Yeah, it is a focusing screen. Yeah. Some of the older cameras, in fact, the newer ones you can too, but you could change the focusing screen in fact, I did that. In one of my medium format cameras, I actually changed the focusing screen so that it was brighter in there. And so, yeah, I should have known what that was. Okay. I'll come back to those in a minute. Alright, so the ebook. Ebook has a lot of really good content, and basically it talks about, number one, a little bit about me, my education, and why I think it's important to get that formal education. What I think, you know what, I'm just looking at this and it's missing a couple sections. That sucks. 1, 2, oh, you know what it is? Just the index is missing, so I'm going to have to update that. So if there are errors in this, guys, I will be updating that file. You can go back and re-download it again, and I'll fix that error later on. Anyway, first thing here, formal education. I think that's really important, and so I'm going to always be stressing formal education. Finding your niche in photography. What is it that you like to do? What part of photography do you enjoy the most? Is it just journalistic? Is it sports? Is it kids? Is it families? You know, is it product photography? Is it astronomical photography? You know, stars and stuff. Could be anything. And so finding your niche, I think, is really important in this day and age. But then also be able to do other things within that. So, for example, if someone comes to you and they say, you know, your main thing is family portraits, but they say, hey, can you take a photo of my dog? Can you take a photo of my business? Or can you, you know, when you're first starting out and you're a starving artist, or, you know, you're not making a whole lot of money, you're better off taking that work and doing the best that you can, as long as you think that you can perform, do a good job, instead of just pushing it away, because you never know when that person is going to come back to you, recommend someone else to you, and you know, they're paying the bills, they're willing to pay you. Why not do the job as long as you think you can handle it? I think that's the key, as long as you think that you can handle it. Next thing, set up your business correctly. Very important. You've got to talk to an accountant, make sure all your ducks are in a row for your taxes and all that stuff, and your business entities, all that. I don't even go into it in here. Talk to an accountant, get it set up right. That's the best way to go. Websites, super important. I talk a little bit about marketing in here. Social media. This ebook is all messed up. I'm guessing it's just this viewer in Firefox that looks weird. It's all screwed up. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out and uploading another copy of it here very shortly. Local marketing and networking, again, very important. That's where the majority of your business is coming from, is right there in your area. Maybe in the county or tri-county area, around you where you live, there in maybe a 100-mile radius. That's where the majority of your business is going to come from. So that means you need to be concentrating on that business, and those people are the people that or people are going to have friends in that area. Others are going to be buying your services. Photography is mainly a local service, with the exception of when we travel. So very important. I'll talk about prints and products, and also about pricing your services. I have had probably 500 people ask me how to price their photography. This goes into that. It's a relatively short section on it, but it's still very important, and so you kind of need to work backwards. This tells you how to do that, and so that's the way to go. Last thing, seeking advice, and so it's all really important. Make sure you check out that ebook. It's all good information, and so good stuff in there. Took me a while to get it together. I hope you enjoy it. Please feel free to share it with others, send it out, or have them sign up for the email newsletter, and they'll get a copy of it, of course. Just do me a favor and don't edit it in any way before you send it out. That's my main thing. Has to be put out in its entirety and for free. That's why I do it for free, to send it out to people, and I don't expect anyone else to be charging for it. So those are my terms. You have to stick with them. By the way, last thing, toys or hobbies. I didn't have enough. I have some really good ones that are posted up here, but I want to give it another week. So let's get a couple more of these photos up here. I think we already have some really good ones. I promise you. There's one that was really a standout. But let's get a couple more up here. Let's give this one another week. And so let's get a few more, and we'll be good, and then we'll decide. So I'll send out a tweet about that and put it in the email for this week too. All right. So anyway, we have some cool stuff. Let's see. Good. So let's see some questions in here posted over on YouTube. First one from Toby. Hi, Greg. Does the shot have to be completely sharp at 100% for you to consider it a keeper, as some just consider this pixel peeping? That is the one thing that I do pixel peep about, is focus. Focus is super important. If an image is out of focus, to me it is trash. And I guess you could say that out of focus is, I don't know what the word is a relative term. I could say something is out of focus. You don't think it is out of focus. But to me, yes, it has to be sharp in order for me to sell it or put it out there. If it's not sharp, I'm not going to put it out there. All right. Keeps freezing. I don't have anybody mentioning that. I'm not sure why, but what's my take on photo contests? If you enjoy them and you agree to the terms, then fine. Just read the terms and conditions before you enter them. That's the main thing. Because then maybe they could be taking the image or doing something with them, making money on it. It's usually a moneymaker for someone else, not for you. Should you get Lightroom 4 or 5 for beginners? 5 is the newest one. Buy the newest one. Don't buy the older one. Doesn't make sense. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Ronaldo, like I said, stop reposting your questions, but I will answer this one. Do you think Lightroom 5 has enough features to be called Lightroom 5? I think it's borderline. I think they could have put some more stuff in there. I think they rushed it a little bit. I actually did put a bunch of video together about 6 months ago that talked about all of my features that I would have loved to have seen in Lightroom 5, and the majority of them did not end up in Lightroom 5, and that's obviously a problem. But I don't make the software, so I guess there's nothing I can do about it. I think it could have been a little bit better. I definitely do. I think there could have been another big feature, like even a little feature, like fixing the backup problem that you have to hit OK on the dialog box in order to back up. That to me is stupid. That we have to click that OK in order to back up every time we exit. I just think it should just exit and back up and close and be done. I don't think we should have to hit the backup button every single time, backup or exit. or cancel, whatever it is. It drives me up the wall, and it just something little like that would have been so much nicer if they would have fixed that. See if there's any other questions here. Monopods. I always use a monopod with my 300mm lens. Once in a while, I'll use it with a 70-200. Not very much though, and I don't use a ball head on that particular monopod. I don't see a need for it. You just lean forward, lean back. You know, you want your photos to be straight so you wouldn't be tipping it left or right. So I don't think a ball head is really going to help you unless you have a short monopod and you're very tall and you need to increase the height of the whole thing, you know, of the monopod. Maybe a quick release might be a reason to use a monopod. Or sorry, a ball head, since it already has one on it, but I can't really think of any reason to use one. At least not on a monopod. As far as a ball head, I have a ball head on my three-legged thing jack, which I do like, I use a lot. But the majority of the time when I'm shooting in the studio, I use my three-way heads on, actually I have that on 2 or 3 different tripods, a three-way head, you know, one for up and down, one for left and right, and then one for a tilt, which is the way the head works. I want to say it's a 3047 head by Bogan, now Manfrotto, and so they're probably my favorite head. And that's the one I use most of the time when I'm working in the studio, whether it's a portrait, whether it's a video, you know, whatever it is. I'm usually going to use that head just to have it. So, any other questions here today? Did want to keep it. It's going to be a little bit shorter show today. Got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't want to bore you. I think I remember you saying you don't clean your own sensors. Why not? I haven't found a good kit in order to keep it very clean and keep it looking perfect. When I send it in Nikon, it's perfect. I can't get it perfect. That's why I don't like doing it. So, my thing. So, all right. If I am freezing, guys, I do apologize for that. So, just rewatch the video. I'll check it out and make sure that it was okay. If not, maybe I'll be re-recording this. If I am, I'll probably end up tweeting. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not freezing. Hopefully there's no issues. From what I can tell here on Wirecast and other places, it seems to be okay. So, we'll find out. Thanks, guys. Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Keep shooting. See ya.